What up, what up, what up, what up? What is going on? What is going on? Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right. I'm gonna plug my mic in just a minute. All right. Okay. I'm gonna plug my mic in just a minute. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, I started listening to this interview between Jackie and Chantel, and child, it's interesting. It's extremely interesting, to say the least. So hold on 1 second, y'all. Let me. One moment here. Oh, I was waiting for that to come out. Thank you, Jesus. That is so like deaconess to be sitting up here talking about thank you, Jesus, after you sneeze. Oh. Here come another. Hallelujah. Good morning, y'all. Okay, I was waiting for that to come out. Hallelujah. Oh, I feel so much better. All right. So, what's up, Brianna? What's going on? Let me speak. Miss Lori, Miss Janetta, Mama Bees. I see you. Lillian, what's going on? Lady D, Brianna, Miss Janetta. Okay, so, what we are going to be discussing today is under fair use, okay? We are going to be discussing Jackie Christie and her daughter. Chantel did an interview with Carlos King, and when I tell you the foolishness that is amongst us is entirely crazy, okay? Chantel, before I get started, baby, you need to be on somebody's couch and not Carlos's chair, okay? Carlos is not a therapist. He is not somebody that you should be talking to right now. I don't care about no stinking interview. Go sit down on the couch, honey, because you need to heal. And listen, if your mama don't want to do it for you and your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chantel, she really got a lot. Like, what we not gonna do, we already know Jackie is Jackie. We already know what Jackie is about. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to forget that, in my opinion, and I don't care what Chantel sit there and say, in my opinion, I feel like you came on this show with a motive to come for your mother. I feel like that, and I'm sorry if a lot of people don't agree, but that's what I feel like you did. So we're gonna listen to this interview. Let me get my mic. Hold on. I'm gonna speed it up, child, because yeah. Okay. So let's see here. So I'm sure that's better with the sound. Now, let's run this back and turn this up.
Well, Well, first of all, you're beautiful.
Thank you.
You are a gorgeous woman.
Thank you.
You really are.
And let me know if you guys can hear this.
I start by saying this. Thank you so much for reaching out to me.
Yes.
It was unexpected. Mm-hmm. I opened up my DM and I'm like,
you weren't expecting it, huh?
Not Chantel, Christie.
Trying to keep you on your toes.
And then I was shocked in a good way.
Okay, y'all can't hear. Y'all can't hear because ain't nobody told me nothing.
Space for people like you to feel comfortable having a conversation when they are going through something. I'll start by saying thank you.
Oh, like I told you, there were things in there that I may not agree with or that I would like to defend myself on. It was done in a very tasteful way, and I didn't feel attacked. And I felt like, okay, you're a producer. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like explaining to you the events that led up to this scenario, maybe you can better understand. And even if you don't agree with the way that I handled it, you can kind of gauge like, okay, now that you mentioned that, but because the viewers don't get to see all of the ins and outs and you know what I'm saying? Like the things that are cut, the things that never see the light of day, it's very hard to understand. Like, why would you talk to her like that? Why would you do that? Why would you? So, like I said, even if you walk away from here today feeling like, bro, you still shouldn't have did that, I'm okay with that. Like, I understand that. But I do want it to be somewhere on wax, my side of the story. If I never do anything else in entertainment, if I never go back to Basketball Wives, whatever happens, I want to know that that it lives in history somewhere, my side of things. You know?
I received that. And I seriously.
And let's be honest. Everybody deserves to tell their side of the story. I believe it's human nature for us to go based off of what we see, right? But there are different sides of stories, and so respectfully, I don't mind her doing an interview. However, I still think Chantel needs to go sit on the couch and heal. And here's my thing with Chantel. Chantel gives me that she tries to tell the therapist how to be a therapist instead of listening and being able to use the tools that she gives you or he or she gives you to help heal. Chantel gives me that she tries to tell the therapist how to be a therapist. I'm just being honest.
Out to you.
A lot. TMZ, Shade Room, any news site that you can think of reached out. And the majority of them, they wanted me to be in LA. They wanted me to come out there. And I told them, that's not where I'm based anymore. Like when this show was done filming, I moved away and I was like, I washed my hands of it, So.
Okay, so Chantel, with your own words, you shouldn't return to Basketball Wives. You're not there anymore. I get it. Some of these girls don't live nowhere near LA. Some of these girls live in Atlanta. Some of them live so I get it. But based off of what you said you didn't know if you was coming back to Basketball Wives. This should be a definite that you shouldn't come back.
When I reached out to you and you said, listen, if I can situate this, I can be there. And I was like, now see, that's journalism to me. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's like, oh, okay, he's serious about the story. And it didn't give I'm trying to be messy. It's just more so, I want to get to the bottom of things. Like, what's tea?
Yeah.
What's tea?
What's funny is, so I'm like, where you live? I'm like, all right. So I called my producer. He and I talking, and I said to myself, God is in this conversation. And I do want you to know that, because for me, I did not seek you out.
Yes.
And I flew in town. I flew in my producer, and I said, in order for me to have a conversation with her, I need to feel her. I need to be able to look her face to face, eye in the eye. And I needed to, like I do all of my guests, I want to feel the energy from you. What I will say before I get started with the questioning, you are very likable right now.
I think I was in a really dark space. And even though I knew that it was coming, because obviously I was there in Hawaii when it happened and I didn't know how much they would show, but I was kind of bracing myself through the green screens and the interviews that I did. I answered questions that let me know, all right, this is going to see the light of day. You know what I'm saying? This is not a fight or whatever that they're going to scrap. And so even though I try to prepare myself, it's just different when you're in it and you have millions of people just saying the wildest stuff. I mean, they've wished death on me. They tell me when they see me, they go curb stomp me on Jackie's behalf. And I'm like, you want to go to jail for Jackie? Like, I'm trying to understand. Like,
not curb stomp, honey.
How crazy this looks, right? Like, it's terrible. It is terrible. I'm not negating that fact. But you guys are judging me based on how I'm handling someone that has been in my life for 32 years, right? And you guys are seeing 32 minutes of an episode. Mm-hmm. And so it's very hard to carry that weight. But, you know, I make the joke to people. I'm like, I didn't only inherit her neck, I also inherited her thick skin. Not even being funny, but for real. Like, I know that I can take this. You know, I have a really strong support system. I have a really strong village around me that is checking in on me consistently. When I can't pick myself up, they're there to do that, whether that be my husband, my sister-in-law, my friends, whatever. Like, I've established a really strong support group. So I'm just taking it day by day. You know, some days it's like, these people are so ignorant. Like, I'm not even going to pay it any mind or attention. And then other days it's like, I want to argue with every single person and I want to prove myself and I want to explain myself. And I know that I can't. Like, I can't respond to each and every one of these individuals.
Chantel, now I ain't gonna lie. Well, I'm gonna give it to you when you talking right. I'm gonna give it to you when you talking right. I really realized, like, y'all, I have not been asleep. If I'm honest with y'all, I have not been asleep. And one of the things is that, like, I've been wrestling with all this stuff that's been going on, and I really feel her. Like, at some point, you just gotta stop arguing or responding to certain people, because certain people they're gonna believe what they want to believe, right? Whatever they believe it, and you can't change their mind. No matter what you say, you cannot change their mind. And I am really realizing that. Now, again, this doesn't take away how I feel about what Chantel did, but I'm just being honest. Like, honestly, people gonna feel the way they gonna feel, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, whatever you do, working hard to try to change people's thought process of you or however they think, that's their business at the end of the day. And so, you know, girl, I ain't going back and forth with these people. So I'm you know, again, I agree when you're saying something right.
So this felt like the safest space to do that, and then just kind of wash my hands of it. You know, like, what I say here today, this is my final statement. Like, I'm not going back and forth with anybody, because I know that this is my truth. I know what my intentions are and what they've always been. And I'm not going to let outsiders create this narrative that really isn't me. Like, if you know me and you're just meeting me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been around me all of 10 minutes. There are people that have known me my whole life and know, like, this is not who you are. That was a really bad moment in your life and is publicized for everybody to see, but this is not who you are. So you can't wear that for the rest of your life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You can't, and I don't want that for you at all. And I'm happy that, look, after this conversation, I agree with you. They have this to watch until the end of time, before obviously your next ventures, and we'll get to that too. But I want to start from the beginning, okay?
Let's.
Who was Chantel Christie as a little girl with the parents of Doug and Jackie? Like, what was your childhood like?
Everybody used to call me the poor little rich girl, because even though, like, my parents had money, people think that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth, right? And of course, like, you have those material things, but I was the kid that wanted to, like, work for it. Like, I was making the family newspapers, I was trying to do hair, like, all of the little hustles. That is something that I get from my mom. You know, like, I'm a hustler at heart. So this idea that I grew up just very privileged and, like, spoiled and bratty, it couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I think that having my grandmother in the house.
Now, Chantel, one thing I am going to say, I don't know how you grew up. I can only go based off of what you say. But one thing I will say is you got this thing about yourself where you think highly of yourself. And baby, let me tell you something. If Jackie slap didn't humble you or whatever it was, it should have. And at least it playing out on TV for the public to see should have humbled you, because you really got this thing about yourself, like you are that girl and everybody should run stuff by you, do this, that. Y'all gonna notice that throughout the interview, but I'm just like, girl, you really think highly of yourself. Oh my, calm down a little bit, honey.
For all of my life, literally. Like, she passed away when I was 18. So for 18 years, I have this incredible woman that is around, dropping all these gems and kind of just raising me in the ways that my mom couldn't. You get what I'm saying? Like,
is this Doug's mother or Jackie's mother?
This is Jackie's mom.
Okay.
She's been on the show before. I think in the first season, her journey with cancer and stuff like that was kind of chronicled a little bit. And so, yeah, I mean, even though I didn't have maybe like a conventional or like a typical upbringing, because we moved around so much. Every time my dad got traded, we're moving. We were never stationary like I am with my kids now, and so I experienced a lot over time, just living in Canada, living in Texas, living in California. Like, I've had so many different experiences over my life that I just have I'm just a different person, than
April, a lot of people asking that.
Because I've had so many experiences and I've lived so many places and I've met so many people. Like, I think in that way, I'm a little more well-rounded than maybe I present myself, like when I get upset, obviously I have a hard time talking and expressing myself, but yeah, that little girl, she still lives in me, but I think
that little girl ain't healed. She just said a mouthful right there, y'all. And that's a lot of our stories. That little girl that's in her, when she said it's still in me, that little girl has not healed. And listen, it takes work. It takes you having to sit down with somebody, to talk to somebody, to understand, but that little girl has not healed within you. And it shows. It shows in your adulthood. And you gotta work on that before your kids become an age of, when they get ready to talk back, they get ready to do all these things. You have to heal that inner girl in you so that you can be a good mother. And I'm not saying she's not a good mother. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you have to do the work. You got to sit in and understand that you got to heal that inner person in you. Listen, I'm still healing that inner little boy in me. I don't care what nobody else say, and you can use it against me, whatever. For me, again, a lot of us still have not healed the inner person within us. We just haven't done it. And some of us haven't taken the steps to get the work done. And that's just what I believe. So anyway, let's keep going.
Just kind of buried her away a little bit.
When you were a little girl growing up, your grandmother obviously lives there. You're saying that, she pretty much was, not to put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming the mother figure you were looking for.
Absolutely.
You did say on camera that Jackie was obviously chasing Doug, but obviously there with her husband, as he is being a basketball player. We all know Jackie Christie was at every game. Did you feel like your mother abandoned you and your siblings for her husband?
For a long time, I did feel that way. And I think that now that I'm a mother and a wife myself, and I'm married to someone that is actually in that same profession, I can understand her thought process or where she was coming from. Like, listen, it's all these groupies out here. I want to be next to my man, right? But what I realize now as a mother myself is that that's a choice. You can choose to go and be with your man, or you can choose to be with your children. And you made your choice, and that's okay. Like, it is what it is, and I can't go back and change it. You can't go back and change it, but you also can't tell me that that wasn't my experience. Mm-hmm.
But then the bigger question would be, and I believe it was April that just asked this question. Although, Jackie may have been running after Doug, what my question would be then is why no feelings toward Doug for always being away? Now, again, I granted you're older now, you're married to someone who plays basketball, so you won't understand now. But then you never thought like, and again, granted, I get it. He is a basketball player, but at the same token, that's still your dad. So I do ask the question: why is there none of this energy for your dad at all? And especially when he retired, like did he? I mean, not retired, but when he became a coach, did things not change then as well? And again, she's gonna get to further stuff in the interview, but those were my questions.
At these basketball games, when I had these school events, when I had the parent teacher conferences, when I got my first menstrual cycle, like this my grandmother was who was there for those experiences. So that doesn't take away the fact that you gave birth to me, or that, you know, we do have memories throughout my life. Like, I'm not taking that away from her at all. But to try to rewrite history in an effort to discredit me, that's where we differ.
There's been conversations about there seems to be so much blame with your mom, and there's none with your dad. And the two of them both made the decision to have you. Mm-hmm. They feel like Jackie gets all the smoke. They recognize that your mom may not have been the perfect parent, but they do feel like a lot of the smoke your mother gets and your father doesn't. Why is that?
Because these are my experiences. I mean, you can very well live in the same house and everybody has a different experience. And I tell a lot of people, like, my dad has had the pleasure of experiencing my mom as a wife. Me and my siblings have experienced her as a mother. And there is a difference there. And if you don't acknowledge that or you don't understand that, I love that for you. But as for me, it was different. Like, I'm watching you put on this, like, perfect, okay, dad is on the way home. Like, let me make sure everything is good and perfect. Like, I've seen it in real time. You get what I'm saying? And so now, as I said, a mother and a wife myself, especially to someone that's in the same profession, I understand how busy their schedules can get. You get up, you go work out, you got a shooting practice, you got to meet with the coach, it's a full day's work. And I get that. So when I hear people say, well, why doesn't he get any of the blame? Do y'all think that he was just sitting there and he would just watch her, like, verbally abuse me and go on about his day? Like, that's not the way that it happened. It didn't. These instances,
girl, that's the way you portray it happened. Like, let's be for real. That's how you're portraying that it happened. So again, we can only go based off of what you say and what you give us. And this is what you have given us. Like, the way you say that your relationship is like with your mom, you make it give like Doug just sit there and just watch it happen. Am I the only one that gets that? I mean, this is the way that you've portrayed the story to be, is that Doug just sits around and lets Jackie do whatever she want to do, and Jackie sniffs up Doug's butt all the time. I mean, that's literally what you gave us. We can only work with what you give us. Anyway, let's keep going.
I'm telling you, she's telling me, if you don't go clean your room, your dad's going to kick you down the stairs. And this is clearly, he's not here, which is why she's saying that. But I think that the viewers are in some ways choosing to be willfully ignorant and say, well, why are you putting all the blame on her? I'm speaking about my negative experiences with her. If that's the blame, I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it by all means. But I didn't have the same sort of negative experiences.
Chantel, you have a really hard time answering questions because that did not answer the question whatsoever. It did not. It did not answer the question whatsoever. And really, I know we use this word a lot, but this interview was nothing but straight gaslighting. I mean, like, it's just like you looking up at the sky, and we clearly see the sky is blue, and you telling me, baby, it's red. It's red. It's pink up there. Like, girl.
My dad that I have with my mom. And I think that that's a story for a lot of people out here that you do have a great relationship with one parent and they can very well still be married. I think that my dad has shown over these last 3 decades that he will love her through and through. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to try to love you out of this. I'm going to try to love you into being a better person and all of these things. So I don't want to speak on their marriage. I think that what I did and said on the show in regard to their marriage was very tacky and tasteless. And I think that being a wife myself, like, I don't want nobody to do that to me. So just because I'm upset, like, girl, all right now, like, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I just saw red.
And let me tell you something else that wouldn't fly with me. Like, why do you keep telling your mama you gonna call your dad? Or in a response to her, go call Doug. First of all, that's disrespectful to your daddy too. Like let's just keep it all the way one thigh. Wow. The things that you have done while you're trying to get back at your mom by spitting the fact that she chose Doug over you. So you say in so many words, right? She chooses her husband over you. Like, that's why people are saying, why don't you feel a certain type of way about your dad? Because your dad follows this narrative that you're giving. According to you. Why would she threaten that your dad would kick you down the stairs if she was the perfect one and she was so abusive? That shows that your dad was abusive if you believe those threats. Listen. I don't know, Chantel, baby, this interview was not it. Can y'all double tap the screen for me? I saw Bama Girl come in here, T-Booth. Hello, everybody. Please, again, double tap the screen. We're just giving real-time reaction to this interview. Ciao. It's a mess around there. All right, let's keep going, y'all. And happy Friday. Happy August 1st, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy August 1st as well.
And I just felt so like, you're really playing in my face, and like, now I'm just unloading the clip. Like, you know what I mean? And saying things that I typically wouldn't, or that I know that I shouldn't, but here we are. Mm-hmm. Now we both rolling around in the pig pen, looking crazy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think the tough times that I have had with my dad over the years, whether it was as a teenager or whatever, he's always apologized. He's always set the standard. He's always taken accountability. If there was something that he did wrong, he stood on that. And he parented me in a way that I respect you. Like, we may not have always had this perfect relationship.
Say that, and then people won't have to build a narrative.
And I tell people, I say, I wasn't raised, from as far as my mom goes, I wasn't raised on respect. I was raised on fear. And because of that, I believe that when you get to a certain age or a certain point in your life, that fear dissipates. And then it's like, I'm looking in your face and I'm telling you, I'm not scared of you.
Delicious. Let me tell you something. I've been told that I was gonna get my teeth rearranged, that my head was gonna be between the refrigerator and the freezer. I have been told you gonna get slapped out of. I haven't, like, listen, let's just be for real. Let's be for real. We grew up black, and y'all know, if y'all didn't wash them dishes, if you didn't clean up that room, if you didn't do certain things, how many of y'all, this is just a question, how many of y'all have gotten whooped out your sleep before? Have anybody gotten whooped out their sleep before? Have anybody gotten whooped out of their sleep before? Baby, I remember one time I went to bed before I washed them dishes, and I was told to wash them dishes before I went to bed. And baby, I mean, was sleeping good. Baby, and listen, got my ass right on up, okay? You better go in the kitchen and finish them dishes. I don't care how sleepy you are, okay? So to hear a mother say that they're gonna do something that, I ain't condoning it. If she did say your dad gonna kick you down them stairs or something like that, that's kind of a little rough. But I'm just saying in general, y'all know that if anytime you do something you ain't supposed to do, you like, come on now. That's like a real black mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to bed and don't wash these dishes. Go to bed and don't wash these dishes and see that I don't rearrange your eyeballs by morning time. Like, listen, let's keep going. What's up, Tracy? What's going on, Cam? What's up, Time Out Sports Podcast? What's up, everybody?
And so that's what I think that the viewers aren't really understanding. We didn't have this close, locked in mother-daughter, come lay down on your shoulder, tell you, like, we didn't have that my whole life. We've tried. We've had those moments that you do see on the show from previous seasons where we're out and we're shopping and I got my daughter, and we've tried to have those moments, but we don't have that. And that's okay.
Well, listen, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not okay. You know what I mean? It's not okay because one thing I even said in my recap was, and we'll get to the incident and later, but one thing I did say was, I believe your experience. Mm-hmm. And I'm not here, I wasn't there on the Zoom to negate your experience. Right. And in person, I'm not there to negate your experience. I was blessed as a Black person to have both parents in the household. I was the quintessential mother's boy before she passed away. And I've been honest with my raindrops about me and my father.
I've been a quintessential mother's boy. I've been a quintessential mother. Carlos, please just let Chantel talk. Please, Carlisha. It's just too early. It's too early. Just let Chantel talk.
We're not close growing up. I was scared of him. Mm-hmm. He put fear.
Y'all, Carlos sound like he need to swallow or something. Like he need to take a drink or something. Like he got a loogie logged up in his throat or something. Sir, clear that shit out. That is so annoying to me. Ugh. He sound like he got that like a loogie or something stuck in his throat. Sir, clear your throat or something. Take a drink of water. Drink something that'll make you burp. Something. Ugh.
Me. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that just how he was raised, and we'll get to that in a second too. So I disagree with you. I don't think it's okay. Mm-hmm. And I think it is okay though to talk about it. And I do think it's okay to listen. Just because it's the minority mm-hmm. to say things about your childhood experience that you know to be true doesn't mean it's not your experience. Mm-hmm. Yes, the overwhelming population of the Black household right. that we both grew up in. You know what I'm saying? You don't go against your parents. No. We'll get to that later.
Not as I do.
Yes, but I know what it's like to adore one parent. Mm-hmm. And I know what it's like as a child to feel like this person doesn't like me. You love me, right. but I don't feel like you like me. Right. You said something earlier that I want to go back on. You talked about your mother being verbally abusive. Mm-hmm. What did that look like for you as a child?
I think that, I don't know. I think expressing the things that she said to a lot of people, it would come off as like, that was a typical Black household. Like your mom put fear in your heart. She talked down to you. But for me, that wasn't the type of parenting that I needed. Right. And I've learned through being a mother myself that you have to kind of meet your kids where they are and you have to handle them differently. And so I think that maybe, and this is where I give her grace. Maybe you didn't know how to be a parent, right? Maybe you didn't understand how to be a mother, how to talk to your kids, how to problem solve and be kind and gentle and all of those things. I can give you grace, but you can't tell me that I didn't experience what I experienced, right? And so that's where the rub comes in, because it's like you want to rewrite history and tell me I didn't do that. I gave you everything. I gave you the best life. You did. You could provide all of the material things. He made millions of dollars and you could provide all of the things. That doesn't take away from the fact that I felt like you was talking to me really crazy. Or
I agree, Tracy. I agree. Hey, TNT, G Mom. I agree. I mean, that's what, like, let's be for real. Everybody in this chat that's an adult, that's what shaped us up to be who we are. We most of us, I'm gonna say most of us. I ain't gonna generalize everybody, but most of us, because most of us grew up on strict parenting, or at least parenting that they would place some type of fear in your soul. You know what to do and what not to do. I think that's extremely normal within the black household, in most black households. You just know there's just something that you just not gonna do, and you're not gonna do it because you scared. Like for me, for instance, let me just tell y'all, with my adopted mom, baby, one thing I would never do, I would never sneak out of the house because I saw what she did to my brother. I saw what that lady did to my brother, and I always got this vision in my head that one day I would pop up. I would come in late, and she would be sitting down in the dark in the living room. Like that shit be. I used to always think about that. So you ain't got to worry about me sneaking out or doing anything like that because I already know how she would do, you know? So I agree with you, Tracy, on that. My dad whooped me one time, and that was more than enough for me. Yeah, yeah. Same with my stepdad. He only had to whoop me one time, and it was good from there. But when it came to my mama, all right, y'all, let's get back into it. I'm gonna give Chantel some grace. Your mother tell your daughter at the age of 12, I hate you. Okay, so but that's the thing, Lady D. I don't think anybody's not giving Chantel any grace. What Chantel's problem is right now. This is what Chantel's problem is. Because nobody can negate the story because we weren't there. The problem that she has is accepting accountability in her adult age. And she cannot accept any accountability until she goes to sit down to try to heal that inner girl within herself. I also, why I don't extend her that level of grace is because she came on her mother's show knowing exactly where she was with her mother. Even though Jackie asked her to be on the show, Jackie had a different plan from Chantel. Chantel had a plan to come and, in my opinion, she came to try to play the revenge game versus trying to resolve things. That's where I stand with Chantel, right? It's not that I don't give her grace, and it's also not that I don't think that Jackie is Jackie is she's not all there, right? But there are things that I, as an adult, I feel like Chantel should be accountable with, right? But the inner girl and the trauma that she has with her mom, she gonna have to sit down and heal that. And it ain't gonna be in no interview with no Carlos King, and that ain't no shade. That's just the truth. You gotta heal that. It's like now, somebody asked me yesterday, "Are you in therapy?" Absolutely, I have to be. It not only that, not only am I dealing with what I'm dealing with, but I'm also dealing with my nephew, y'all. So again, it has to be, well rounded. So yeah, therapy is important. I don't care if you getting it virtually. I don't care if you got to go sit on somebody's couch. Do whatever you have to do to get the work done. So that's why, that's where I am with it. What happened to sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Shit, I ain't never said that because that's a lot of me, Tracy. That's a lot of me. I ain't gonna even sit up here and say that as a grown ass man. That is a lie. That is a lie. Who came up with that? Who came up with that? Because that's a lie. That is a lie. Yeah, that is a lie. Because words do hurt. At least they do for me. I wouldn't dare sit up here and lie. Words do hurt. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's go, y'all.
Like you were emotionally abusive, or that doesn't. Two
Does she
things
call
can
you
be
out your
true.
name?
Plenty of times.
The B word?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like you tell me at 12 years old to my face, I hate you, verbatim. That is a moment I will never forget.
Why did she say that?
We were just in the middle of one of our many heated arguments, disputes about whatever it may have been. And it just got to a point where she was like, I hate you. And I think that out of all of her kids, out of all three of us, I'm the most outspoken. I'm the one that is.
Now, I do have a question. Now. Again, I'm not taking away the fact that Jackie Mayer said she hates Chantel at the age of 12. I ain't taking Chantel's experience away. But I got a question. Why in the hell is you arguing with your mama at the age of 12? Why are you having a heated argument with your mama at the age of 12? I'm just asking, but okay. I mean, like, I don't understand that. Why are we having this back and forth? Like, why are we arguing at 12? Okay.
Like, pedal to the floor, right? I've always been that way. Anybody that knows me knows that. And that's something that I need to work on. That's something that I need to change about myself and improve on. But this didn't come out of nowhere. And it definitely didn't happen for the sake of this show. This is who I've been. And the instances that we've had that have been very heated, it's never gotten physical, but it's gotten right there beneath it. The words that are being exchanged, the things that are being said, this is not new. This didn't come out of nowhere. Like, we've had those really hard moments where it's like, I cannot believe that you're my mom. And maybe at times she thought, I can't believe you're my daughter. I don't know.
Would you call her the B word back?
I don't think that I've ever called her the B word to her face until we got to Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah.
So at 12 years old, your mother says, I hate you.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I'm sorry, Chantel. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Because the way you was throwing bitches at your mama and throwing that pocketbook at her too, you was steady swinging that pocketbook and saying the B word. I absolutely believe that you called your mother the B word. I believe you're lying. I'm just keeping it 1,000. That's it. That's all. I don't believe that.
As we're arguing, and as a 12-year-old girl, that chips away.
Absolutely.
At your confidence, and it chips away at your ability. And again, I really, the blessing of this conversation is because I think if people can not look at what happened on Basketball Wives, and I want you guys to just for a second remove the altercation on Basketball Wives, and what I want people to really focus on right now is, as a kid, and as I'm talking to you, you know what is so fascinating, Chantel? I can relate to you. I'm sorry. I can relate to you. Am I saying that to blow smoke up your ass? Am I saying that for you to feel comfortable? I've said this before on my own podcast. I've had issues with my dad. We're past that now, but I know what it's like for a parent to say something to you. My father said,
Sister Mary, can you bring Carlos essential water, please? Yeah, Carlos need an essential water so he can get that loogie out of his throat or whatever is in his throat, because it's wearing me thin. Okay, wearing me thin.
To me, I was 7, and he said, "Stop acting like
I was 7."
And again, I'm not.
I was 7. and he told me to stop acting like a little girl. Huh, okay, y'all. Okay, I'm done. I'm probably not done, but
called out my name. But as a little boy, hearing that was the day I said to myself,
absolutely,
you don't like me.
Right there.
You don't like me. And I was 7 and I was 35. So 28 years later, I took him aside and spoke to him about that. So for 28 years,
you held on to it.
I held on to it. I never forgot it. And for 28 years, I lived my life thinking my father doesn't like who I am because I am a feminine boy. My sexuality has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that I'm a feminine boy, and him saying, stop acting like a girl, made me look at him differently. And I held it. So, but I'm realizing right now, you
sort of way towards me, whether that's for whatever your reasoning is, you have to hate me, because if you didn't, why would you treat me like this?
And when you say treat you, obviously your sister, we'll get that in a second. Your sister said, baby, Chantel was spoiled. My mama looked, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it appeared that, or what was said was, you were the apple of Jackie's eye. You were the one who got everything they wanted. You were the one that they poured so much into, and that you are a mini Jackie yourself. Is that something that you can acknowledge, that you, out of all your siblings, you were the one that got the most or was spoiled?
I won't say out of all my siblings, because me and my brother have the same mom and dad, right? Mm-hmm. And so for my sister, and I'm going to try to be not careful with my words, because my truth is my truth, right? But I now understand that she doesn't want me to speak about her and her experiences. So I can speak on mine, right? My sister has a different father. And so, not to in any way take away from her experiences, right? But I have a daughter from a previous relationship, and now I have my son with my husband. And I know that for me personally, I go out of my way to ensure that they feel equal. I never want my daughter to be in this house feeling like, oh, mommy and Noah and Daquan are sitting there on the couch and I'm off to myself. I don't play like that.
Good little baby.
My kids,
I was going on nice to be nice.
I'm your mother, and this is what it is. So I think that a lot of what she may have felt came from the fact that you see mom and dad in this household, and no matter if my dad adopts you, no matter if he takes you under his wing, no matter all of these things, you still don't feel like this is really mine. You almost feel like an outsider in some ways. And so for me, I always felt like, how do I get us to be equal? Or how do I get her to feel like she's just as much loved and adored as I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me having these great experiences with my father. I want you to have the same thing. So I can't tell you what her thought process was. I can't tell you what my mom's thought process was. But for me, even if I did have the material things, I still felt just as my sister did. We was both left here with our grandmother. She didn't take me with her. Like,
yeah, Tracy, that's exactly what she asked, and she done took us to Six Flags, and she done took us to all the Six Flags, honey. SeaWorld. She done took us around there to the desert, to the zoo. And child, I'm wondering if she gonna loop the loop back around, because she done took us everywhere but to the main destination that we need to get to.
Our experiences, maybe because yours are different, it doesn't change what that we were raised by the same mother. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So much of what you experienced, I probably did too. It may have looked different for you because it is different for you. But that doesn't mean that you got this monster and I got this perfect mother. That's not what happened. Now, if that's your experience, I understand that, but that wasn't my experience.
And it goes back to,
girl, that's not what he asked you though.
Children can live in the same household with their parents and have a different experience. And I think that's the case with you and your siblings. when it comes to your father, would you open up to your dad about how you felt about the things that were going on with your mom, or you kept that to you?
Never. No. We just got to this point in like my late 20s where I finally started.
She said
to
it
open up
at the beginning,
transparent with
Tracy,
my dad
too.
and tell him, because I started to see him as a person and not a parent. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I can see where you were coming from. If when you didn't want me to do this or you didn't want me to do that, I started to relate to him more, and so I felt comfortable opening up. I felt comfortable saying, yeah, like this is where I was at, or this is what I thought, or this is what I felt. And the difference, and I'm not trying to compare them, but I'm speaking on my experience. The difference between my mom and dad is that he is very.
We've been asking the same question, little baby. Shout out to everybody that's just joining us. Y'all, we had started this way earlier than what I had it planned for. If y'all could double tap the screen, I'm greatly appreciative of it. But yeah, I asked the same question. Why you ain't got no smoke for Doug? None at all. She said this because their relationship was just so good. Listen, if you guys again could double tap the screen. Also, share. Also, if you'd like to show some love, you know how to do so. And also at 12 p.m. today, we got another video coming out about Tyrone Blackburn, Rock Nation, and Fat Joe. Okay. All right, let's go.
To take accountability, apologize, acknowledge, understand, even if he doesn't agree, right? And so then you have the polar opposite parent who is deflecting, no accountability, and it's very hard to find that balance, because on one hand, I don't feel safe to share this with you, and on the other hand, you're like my best friend. It's very hard to find that balance.
I've been told through many psychiatrists and the many books that I read that for most girls, not all, but for most girls, your first bully is your mom.
1,000%.
I have been told that. When I say that, I'm not calling your mother a bully, but what I'm saying is based on your relationship with your mother. And you said something so poignant earlier when you said, perhaps my mother did the best she could,
right,
with the information she had of being a mom.
Right.
Do you think your mother intentionally wanted to treat you the way she treated you? Or do you think, now being a mom, my mother did the best she could with the information she had?
I think it's a bit of both. Honestly, I think that is my truth, that I experienced a mom who maybe had no plans of being a mom, right? And this all kind of just fell into your lap. Like maybe you didn't want to be a mom, but you're taking your responsibilities on. I don't know her backstory like that, or I haven't had these sort of layered conversations with her to understand where her mind was when she had my sister, or when she had me, or when she had my brother. But I think that at times you didn't know any better, so you couldn't do any better. But then there are other instances where it's like, now you know you was dragging it, right? Like you know you was out of line. And because I can never have that sort of real honest conversation where she just takes the mask off and she just says, you know what, this is the real, right? Like, and meets me in this conversation with the desire to understand instead of attack or feel attacked, we can't really get anywhere, because I'm telling you what my experiences are and you're telling me what maybe your intentions were, and we can't meet somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's how things start to really deteriorate and play out how they have.
You were close to your grandmother, which is Jackie's mom. Mm-hmm. Growing up, what did you see in terms of how was Jackie's relationship? This estranged mother figure who you felt at the time, what was her relationship and dynamic?
Give me 2 seconds, y'all. Let me fix something. Okay. All right.
Dynamic like with your grandmother who you cherish and just love so much?
It wasn't bad. I think that she was, I think, the only one in this life that I've witnessed outside of my dad who really loved my mom unconditionally. Like, I know who you are, I know how you are, and I'm going to love you through that. I'm going to try to fix you in some ways. You get what I'm saying? Like, my mom is one of 9. My grandma had 9 kids. And this is the one that you chose to live with, help out. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there are still 8 other children, but my mom was more so like, I'm not going to say the problem child, but I think that my grandmother knew she's the one that needs it the most. And so having her there, it was like she just picked up a lot of the slack. She just did all the things. You're cooking every meal. You're taking us to school, pick up, drop off, sitting in the parking lot sometimes. Like, do you get what I'm saying? You're being the mother for her. And whether that was you are enabling her to not step up to the plate as a mom, whether you feel like you're giving her the support that she needs for her own mental, I don't know. And because my grandmother is no longer here, I can't really have that conversation and get that sort of clarity and understanding to be able to better understand my mom. I don't have that.
In this very moment, I have a light bulb moment. Maybe you recognize it in yourself and you have, or maybe you haven't. In this very moment, I have an aha moment of, if any Black child grew up where their grandmother pretty much raised them, the moment your grandmother passed away, you lost her protector.
Oh my gosh.
You lost her protector. And I think subconsciously, Chantel, the moment the woman who you felt protected you was there for you, you loved, the moment she passed away, you were now forced to deal with your mother alone without that shield.
Without that shield. And at that point, I really felt like a motherless child. Even though my mother is here in the flesh, this woman that has raised me and taught me and picked me up when I was down and just been that safe, protective space for all of these years, now she's gone. And she passed away from cancer. Like, you know what I'm saying? So watching her deteriorate, and I was her caregiver for like the last year of her life. Like, there were so many hurt feelings and just so much, it was just so heavy for me. You know what I mean? And I think that maybe my mom in her mind thought things would change between us, or maybe I don't know, but I wasn't able to build a relationship with her at that point. Like, I moved out at 18, and this is what people fail to realize about me. They think like I've just been spoiled all my life. I moved out at 18 and went and got a job at Walmart because I wanted to be away from my mom. I didn't want to live off of her. I didn't want to be provided for and all these things that people think. When my grandma died, I was like, okay, now I got to hit the ground running. I have to figure something out. And within a month, I was a cashier at Walmart, name tag and all. And from there, moved to Nordstrom and assistant manager at Hustler Hollywood. And I had a lot of odds and end jobs along the way to prevent depending on my mom and to prevent maybe having the tough conversation.
I was just about to say, I don't think it was to prevent you from dealing with her. It's not preventative. What you did was, Chantel, when your grandmother passed away and you're 18 years old, what you don't realize you did, my love, you were escaping your mother. You ran away. You ran away from home.
Oh no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like you ran away. The fact that
that's what she said. Odds and end jobs.
Yes.
And she's removed from the equation. I'm now forced and faced to deal with that.
And I cannot.
I can't deal with that because again, I relate to you so much because when my mom passed away, because I want the world to know that I now see you so differently now. When my mom passed away, all 9, I have 10 siblings, so I can relate to Jackie too.
Right. Of course.
I have 9 siblings, there's 10 of us. All of us were extremely close to our mother. Mm-hmm. The moment our mother passed away, I'm not going to speak for everybody. Mm-hmm. I'll speak for myself just to be safe, because I don't need no drama in my family. The moment my mom passed away, I said, I have to talk to my father now. We're fine, but I will call my mom and she'll be like, you know, it's your dad's birthday. Oh, tell me happy birthday. Absolutely. All right.
Absolutely.
Carlos, blah, 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 blah. Your father in the background. Oh, tell me say hi. It wasn't until my mother passed away that I said to myself, I now have to develop a relationship with my father. When your grandmother passed away, you ran away because you did not want to deal with the heavy work, and it's heavy to all of a sudden at 18 years old, start a relationship with your mom. And what you have done, Chantel, which is no fault of your own, and you said it earlier, you are still a little girl inside processing your experience. And unfortunately, you haven't been able to find the words to articulate it, and you suppressed it, and your anger has manifested.
Absolutely. I read a comment that said, Takari is sad and Chantel is mad. And I said,
Preach.
Clock it.
Preach.
That's what you see manifesting. People, because you don't see me crying and carrying on, you can't have any sort of empathy for me, right? You see the anger and it's like, how could you? But if you don't understand my plight, be grateful for that.
Jackie did bring her on the show, but I don't think Jackie knew Chantel had a motive. And I don't care what Chantel say. Chantel had a motive to come on her mama's show. At least that's what I believe.
Through a lot of experiences in my life, and that doesn't excuse my behavior. It doesn't.
You hold full accountability.
Absolutely.
For your behavior.
Absolutely. When I got to that door, I could have and should have turned around and walked out of it. 1,000%. When I seen in real life outside of these cameras, you're not going to take accountability. You're not going to acknowledge what you've been doing all season long. Right now, to the outside world, we both look like fools. I just need to go. I couldn't do that. For the first time in my life, I'm toe-to-toe with who I feel like was my first bully, and I'm not backing down. I don't, something in me I was spiraling. And that's what you see play out. People think that because I haven't come out and said, I apologize to my mom for this, that I think that I was right in the altercation or in what happened. There are plenty of instances and times during this season where I was wrong, where I could have removed myself, where I shouldn't have engaged. Absolutely. I understand that. I'm not delusional. Like, I know it looks that way, and I get it. Like, it's fair. You guys can only go off of what you see. Like you said, I get it. But I know what I have experienced since the start of filming this show. And that's what I think that people fail to realize. When I'm on the show and I'm talking about her taking accountability and apologizing and so on and so forth, I'm talking about stuff that's happening right now at my big age, at 32, in Los Angeles, on these cameras, off these cameras. I'm talking about right now in this season. I wasn't even talking about my childhood. Now, if we want to tell the backstory and you want to understand better how I kind of came to this place of not being super close with her, we can do that. But what I was searching for this season was not her to go back and say, you know what, I shouldn't have talked to you like that when you were a kid. I shouldn't have such and such. That was not what happened. And it did not come across that way on camera at all. At all. So girl, that's something that I have to live with. But because I know my truth and I know my intentions, that's the only thing that is keeping me afloat right now.
So let's get into that. You've been on the show before. We've seen you a part of Basketball Wives a couple of times. This was the first time where, okay, Chantel is low-key a full-time cast member. When you got the call to join the show,
listen to this, y'all.
Did you know that, okay, this is going to be an opportunity for me to work with my mom? Like, where were you and your mom's relationship when you got the phone call to join the show this season?
We weren't in a bad space by any means necessary, but we also weren't close. We weren't besties. We weren't, I'm calling her and telling her my business. What I want people to understand is that I moved away from Sacramento and away from my mom when my daughter was 2.5 years old. She's 8 years old now. So me and Jackie have not been living in the same state for 5 years. We're talking over text. We have our phone calls. She'll send the kids Christmas gifts. That's the sort of interactions that we're having. Ever so often, I'll go to Sacramento. Obviously, my dad, where he works. So Disney on Ice is coming to Golden One Center. I'm going to take the kids, things like that. But me and my mom had not been in the same space for extended periods of time in years. This is not somebody that I'm seeing and everything is great off camera. And then I get on camera and I code switch on you. That's not what happened. We were not locked in. We were not where we are now by any means necessary, or I never would have agreed to come and do the show. But I think that I had high hopes that I've been on this show before. I had to sit down with Laura. I've had all the drama with the other girls and all of these things. I can come on and show the growth. I can show, okay, no, we definitely don't have the best history. We definitely don't have, we have a very checkered past, but we're moving forward. We're trying to move forward. So when my mom reaches out and the producers reach out, this is months in the making. And the first several times I said, no, I'm a newlywed. I have this new baby. I don't need this. Respectfully, I get it. Everybody said I did this for a check. Was I appropriately compensated for my time? Absolutely. I wasn't going to do it for free. But did I need this? No. My husband takes impeccable care of his family. So I didn't come on here for the sake of a check to embarrass Jackie. That's not the way that this played out. Y'all came and found me. I was in Arizona, out the way for years. I was never in the blogs. I was never in no drama. I was out the way for years. I was living a happy, peaceful life, letting my husband love on me, letting my kids build memories, and I was good. Y'all came and found me. I turned it down multiple times. And through continued encouragement and petitions and so on and so forth from my mom, oh, come on, Banner, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. It's going to be positive. Come make your little money and go on about your business. I'm talking to my husband about it. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. You know, same thing my dad said. You know how y'all could get. I don't know if it's the best idea, but if you
Your father wasn't even into the idea.
Wow, hell no. All right now, because he knows we don't.
Chantel, bring your ass here. Chantel, you still decided to sign on, regardless of how many times they told you no, regardless if Doug told you, regardless if Jesus told you it wasn't a good idea. Guess what? You still signed on that line. You still signed on the line. So again, no matter what, who told you no, no matter who told you yes, no matter what, you still signed on that line. That's something that you have to take on your own, baby. You did it. We didn't do it.
Have the best track record. We don't have the closest relationship. And he knows that we're both firecrackers in that way. He knows his child, and he knows I'm not going to back down. And once you take me to that point, I could give up about these cameras and anything else. I don't play like that. You can see in her previous interviews where she says, my daughter is a very private person. I begged her to be on this show. So I wasn't looking for this.
Yeah, no, I interviewed your mom, of course, and she said your mother said what you said, she reached out to get you on the show. Your mother did confirm that to me.
So you brought me here to play in my face.
That's how you felt. Or do you still feel that way?
We could get into the meat and bones of what happened. Absolutely. That is what happened. You played in my face.
Okay, so I'm a huge Basketball Wives fan. I watch every single episode. I'm a Basketball Wives historian. Okay? I saw you on the show. You and Drea at Orlando, that whole thing, and boom, 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 bow, bow. I saw you confront Evelyn about Jackie, and then Jackie's like, what you doing? You like, Mom, I came down, my weave still intact. Like, everything is good, right? Oh, trust me, Carlos King's a fan of basketball. It's the greatest show on VH1, in my opinion. So,
Girl.
we saw the top of the season. We see your mom be, a doting grandmother in the sense of, like, having fun with you guys. The one thing that I still do not understand, and again, as a producer, I know that oftentimes a lot of things aren't shown. Mm-hmm. And I want you to have the ability to address it. What was the moment this season where you felt like things took a turn between you and your mom?
The first scene.
In the apartment?
Now, put your producer hat on.
Okay.
Follow me here. Now, everybody is saying from the first scene that she came in, you act like you was on 10. You were so disrespectful. Understand something. My mom met my son when he was 7 months old. When she comes in the door and I say, oh, he got to warm up. That's me for real, as a mama bear. I'm not going to put him in your arms for the sake of these cameras and have him on here howling and carrying on. I want him to be comfortable. I set out when I signed up to do this show to really establish the real in reality TV. I understand that people have grown accustomed to seeing these women get on here and sit down and fight and argue and throw drinks and go to dinner and talk about the same thing. And that wasn't what I signed up for. I'm going to be my real, true, authentic self. Whoever likes it. Whoever doesn't, that's okay too. So you're seeing these little,
I told you how she got
or whatever in our.
I told you how she got this thing about herself where she only think about her and she think real highly of herself. Girl, bye.
Relationship. This is our real dynamic, and I'm not going to get on here and pretend for anybody. Here you go. Here's grandma. I wasn't going to do that. Why would I do that to this is my real son. This is not no prop, baby.
And how old was your son at the time of that scene?
I think 9 months postpartum. So he was like 9-10 months.
So
right in there.
So your mother met your son for the first time?
At 7 months.
Was that the second time she was around?
That was maybe the third, right within there. I think that she had because obviously I had been in.
Carlos, I'm with you when you're right. I was getting ready to ask that too. What time was it? Because she said, child, I can't with Chantel. I can't.
In LA in that apartment well before we started filming, right? Like a week or two or whatever. She had seen him on different occasions, but not. My mom is not picking up my son, taking him to the park. This is not one of those sort of situations. You can come over and see him. You can come and visit him. Absolutely. Like I'm not going to keep you from your grandkids, right? But you also don't have that sort of typical grandparent relationship with him, right? She may have had that with my daughter because I lived in Sacramento at the time. So for the first 2.5 years of her life, you are able to see her. You are able to have these.
I'm also a little confused too because if the baby ain't but 9 months old, I agree. If I agree with Jasmine, if he done seen his grandmama 3 times, what is we warming him up for? Do you know how many? Chantel, do you know how many grandmas and their grandkids live across the world from each other, and they only see them a few times, and they okay. Anyway.
Great experience as a grandparent. But when it comes to my son, that wasn't the case. So fast forward, she comes in, she sits down, we're having our little, talk, whatever. She says, and I haven't said this publicly. She says, Vanna, I don't mean to pry, but how are things with, and insert my daughter's father's name. She says, how are things with Stacy? And I'm like, I know you fucking did. Now, mind you, leading up to this, we've had multiple conversations that we will not talk about that on this platform. I'm in the thick of a custody battle. I'm going through nobody out of my grandmother's 9 kids. Nobody in our family has ever had any sort of custody, court, anything family-wise. They always figured it out amongst themselves. So here I am in the middle of this very heavy, serious situation. You promise me that you are not going to talk about it. You promise me that you will not bring it up. And if somebody else brings it up, you can just get up and you can just walk away, don't engage. And you get in here in the first scene and you throw me under the bus. Now, as a producer, you know, we don't know what's going to be used. At this point, I don't know if they're going to use it. I don't know if this is going to get legs. I don't know if now they're going to take this and say, Brandy, ask her about her daughter's father, or such and such, ask her about the court case. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I know that you and I had multiple conversations leading up to the start of filming. We agreed we would not talk about this. Understand, my daughter has her father. My sister has her father. Mom, you have a child from a previous relationship, just like I do. Do you want me to come in here and sit down and say, so how are things with Tyrone? Have you talked to him lately? What is the drama like? That would have been so messy. That would have been so crazy and tacky on my part as your daughter. So you can do that to me and I'm just supposed to eat it. Now, you and Dustin both said she's very well versed at this. She knows what she's doing. She knows there are certain things that you just don't, because you never know what's going to be used. So in that moment, that it clicks in my mind and I'm like, here she go. Yet again, you're not protecting me. Yet again, now you're taking me back to my childhood. Now I'm feeling exposed. Now I'm feeling naked. Now I'm feeling like the very person that begged me to come here is going to play in my face for what reason? If we really get to the nitty gritty of things, out of everybody on this cast, technically I am the basketball wife. My father played basketball.
See, that's the stuff I'm talking about right there, girl. We don't care. We don't care about you being no actual basketball wife. This your mama show. And let's keep it all the way with Thou Wow. Okay? First of all, Jackie is the only one that's, well, I forgot what's his name. What's her name is married. But Jackie is the only one in a real marriage. Girl, we don't care. This your mama show. We do not care. You can go out there and marry all the basketball players you want to. We do not care. And don't get on here saying that like you like girl, like you've been on the show for years or something. Let's just be clear. I'm the only basketball girl. Bye.
He's a coach now. Nobody else on this cast is married to someone that is currently in the league. That's not me tooting my own horn. If we're talking about the title of this show, that's what it is. You had so much meat and bones and things you could have talked about. What is life like with your husband living here and you living there with the kids? And there's so much we could have talked about. Why would you come on here and bring up my daughter's father when you know the dynamic? And you think that I'm not going to feel some sort of way? You know me. So I didn't allow that to ruffle my feathers on camera.
Can I say something? Hold on. Let me be real. Chantel, in one breath, you say your mama don't know you. You say your mama crazy. But I keep hearing you say she know you. How? That can't exist in the same sentence. You can't say in one breath, she don't know me. You know, we never really had these. She doesn't know me. You know me, though. You know me. You don't know me, but you know me. Girl.
Gave her a very, diplomatic answer. Just, we're trying to work through this as a family. Hopefully, the judge will approve the relocation and whatever. As best as I could wrap it up in that moment. While in my mind, I'm spiraling. I'm like, this lady did not just do this. When we wrapped filming, I called my dad. I called my brother. I called my husband. I said, she's on some bullshit. She's on some bullshit. I don't know why she brought me here. I don't know why she would do that. And collectively, they're all like, What? There's no way she got on camera and said that. They did not believe me. I said, on my children, this is what she just got in here and said. And you know you're wrong, which is why you led it with, I don't mean to pry, but you being messy.
Here's my thing though, Chantel. And see, maybe you never thought of it this way. But as messy as those other ladies are on their show, it was going to come up. It was going to come up. Somebody was going to bring it up. Somebody was going to bring it up. Why not get it from your mama? I'm just asking. Her mama may not have been correct for saying it, but I'm just saying, because that's how producers and stuff work. Just because you didn't know, or because the girls haven't said anything yet, doesn't mean that producers hadn't already given them the information. So why not let it come from your mama versus the other ladies? I mean, they was gonna bring it up. They were going to bring it up. For you to think that they weren't is crazy to me. Hey, Angie B. Hey, E Boogie. Hey, everybody. Hey.
You are being so messy right now. For what reason? There was 1,000 things we could have talked about. If you guys sold me on the idea that you're trying to bring back basketball wives, you're trying to bring it back into the fold and talk about the things in the NBA and so on and so forth. Why are we not talking about that? What does my ex and whatever we have going on with my minor daughter have to do with right now, today?
Did you confront your mom after the scene was over?
Absolutely. Are you serious? No, Banna, I did. I said, Mom, so you mean to tell me that we haven't had multiple discussions? Well, I didn't know that. I was just saying it so I could just get it out the way.
Because one thing that, and this is me being real with you, one thing that all of us collectively who watch the show and love your mom's personality on the show is your mother knows, your mother's a great reality star.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So we know that your mother has the ability to bring up stuff or say stuff or do stuff for the entertainment of the show. So in that moment, you felt like this, you're playing it up for the cameras.
You're playing it up for the cameras with me, your blood daughter, who we're supposed to be. This storyline is that we are rebuilding and you know, I'm living in the same building. You're able to, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, I do.
That is the plan. And then you come in here and you throw me under the bus like I'm one of your castmates. I don't really understand where you're coming from.
Got it.
But now going forward, you still want my loyalty. You still want me to hold you in this high regard and paint this picture that everything is great between us. I'm not doing that. That's not what you're going to get from me. But even still, even after that, there were still multiple scenes where I tried. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm just not going to feed into it. I'm just going to, she had a photo shoot. I went and supported her. I didn't come on camera and melt down about that. I didn't say, how dare you do that? I let it die in hopes that they're never going to use this. Like maybe they just won't even pay it no mind and just go on, right? But because this is my first go round as a cast member, I decided ultimately later on in the season to bring it into the fold and to say, listen, so that there's nothing, nobody can come and put no card down on the table for me. This is what I'm dealing with. I am going through a custody case. I am trying to get approved for relocation. I do have...
Girl, wait a minute, Chantel. See, now you finna piss me off. You just got through saying that you just blame that on your mama, and you literally went to the producers and told the producers exactly what you was going through, as if it was not going to come back up with any of these other girls. Are you serious? You just literally got through talking about your mama, bringing it up in a scene, and you told the producers, so the producers knew. The producers didn't do nothing but give your information to somebody else to bring up. You can't be that slow. Girl, I cannot. I cannot. Chantel, girl, I cannot.
And so on and so forth in my life. This is what's happening because I don't know what they're going to use. But I know that you, as the mega incredible reality star that you are, you know the way that this game goes. So to do me like that, I really couldn't stomach it. And I think that coupled with, and this is also something that I've never talked about publicly, and I don't know if she will feel a way about me doing this, but off camera, on the way to Hawaii, Jackie tried to get Brandy to bring some tea about me from a mutual friend that they had. A mutual friend that Jackie and Brandy had came to Brandy and said, I got some tea on Jackie's daughter. Now, the tea was ice cold. He said I was a lesbian. I'm not. But I can go ahead and put that out there. She tried to get Brandy to bring it into the fold. Brandy told her no at the airport. On the boat scene, where you see her sitting there, she tries to get Brandy to do it again. Now, this time it's on camera. And Brandy's yelling at her, and we're like, what is going on? And Brandy's going, no, Jackie, I'm not doing it. No, Jackie, I'm not doing it. After the fact, it's shared with me that, yeah, she wanted me to bring this tea about you to the show. Oh, so you're playing a really dirty game right now. And because you've been doing this so long, you know I'm going to get her to the point of no return. She's going to give this season all she's got because she really don't have no filter and she really don't care about these cameras and she really doesn't. I'm not articulate in that way. Maybe I'm well spoken, but when I'm mad, I'm mad. I'm not finna sit here and play with nobody. Like, I get that that's what y'all like to do, but I don't like to do that. I told Brandy that in Vegas. Everybody don't play like that. I know that that's what you guys are used to, but I don't play like that. So maybe this isn't the platform for me. Maybe this isn't the space for me because I'm not about to play with y'all. That's not. Listen.
Victim.
Once you guys finally see, as the viewers, me get to Hawaii, now I have you bringing up my daughter's father. I have you trying to bring messy tea via Brandy to this platform. I have later on in the Hawaii trip, you telling Jennifer that you would have grandparents' rights to my kids. Now, how messy is that of you to say when you know that I'm in court right now? All of these things are coming at me. And I'm still sitting here trying to take it like, do not take it there with this lady. I don't care how you feel. I don't care. Like, I made a promise to myself, to my husband, to my children, to my father before I came on this show. I'm not going to get on here and show my ass. I'm not going to do it. I've watched you do it season after season.
Ain't that what you did though? Ain't you? Didn't you get on here to show your ass?
I don't want to go along with that narrative. I don't want people to say, oh, the apple don't fall far from the tree and everything that they've been saying about me now. I never wanted this. But I'm also not going to let nobody play in my face. So if that means that this is what I have to wear and y'all don't understand where I'm coming from, that's okay. That's okay with me because I know what led up to this point. And the cast members and castmates and producers and so they all saw it in real time. So if you want to come out now at this point and offer Jackie an apology because of the way that this fight was relayed, I understand it and I respect it. But to say that y'all didn't see in real time what she was doing to me on and off camera, this has been a tough pill to swallow, man. This is crazy.
So it sounds to me, again, going back to the dynamic between you and your mom, it sounded to me like you said earlier, the little girl resurfaced again when your mother caught you off guard by bringing us something on camera that you two talked about not bringing up.
Absolutely.
And then obviously your mother allegedly hearing something, told Brandy to bring it up. Brandy said no. Brandy tells you. Is that when you started to unravel and the loyalty was gone? Because is that when you started to say, well, Brandy, Jackie said this about you?
Well, what people don't understand, and they always say, well, why didn't you protect her when Brittany was going in on her? I'm not protecting nobody that's not protecting me. This whole time that we're here in Vegas, you're on the phone with me when we're not filming. I wasn't staying at the house. I got a house separate from them so that I could be with my kids. I brought them to Vegas. You're on the phone with me between these scenes. Yeah, because Brandy this and Brandy that. You're talking down on her no matter what you said. I don't even have to repeat what you said, right? But then you get on camera and you're grabbing Brandy by the hand. Sis, I know you've been dealing with a lot.
Everybody, you not spilling no tea. You not spilling no tea on your mama because everybody know your mama been doing that. Okay? Everybody already know Jackie for her works. You not spilling no tea on Jackie. Okay? Chantel, I have you to know we've been watching her for over a decade. Okay? We know who Jackie is, and we know what Jackie is capable of doing, and you're not giving us no tea. Okay? None. Hurry this thing up. I got stuff to do.
And I know now that shit is rubbing me the wrong way. You're playing a very dirty game. If you don't want to get in between it, then don't get in between it. There's 8 other women here that you could talk to, but you want to sit here and buddy up to Brandy when you already know I feel some sort of way about this person. Why? Because if the roles was reversed and I did that, if this was last season when Evelyn called you whatever she called you and brought up whatever she brought, and I was doing that with her, you would feel some sort of way. But I'm behind the scenes telling you, yeah, that's real tacky of her, and I just can't. You're playing a very messy game. And maybe you weren't prepared for somebody that really knows you to come on here and work alongside of you. And maybe when you offered me or brought this opportunity to my door, you weren't prepared for the way that I was coming. But anybody that knows me knows I really do not play like that. I don't play for these cameras. I could honestly care less about I could have been ducked off living on a farm. I wasn't bothering nobody. What did you bring me here for just to do this? So now I've become...
Girl, you want to be the victim so bad. You want to be the victim. So what'd you bring me here for? Like she drug you along the way. Girl, you still signed that on that dotted line, and that check still went into your account.
One of your castmates, and you're willing to throw me under the bus and do me dirty like you're willing to do everybody else. But you want me to show you loyalty? You want me to stand up for you because you and Brittany got into it? No, I'm actually not going to do that because respectfully, she's the only one spoke up for me and said anything. Whether I met her 10 minutes ago or I've known her 10 years, that's who spoke up for me. Why are you so mad at her? You're getting defensive because now you see somebody else that is not just your daughter that's saying this. Now somebody that don't really know neither one of y'all like that is saying, Jackie, something's wrong with this picture. I don't really like what's going on here. And now you want to jump over couches and carry on? But you can sit here with the same person who, now, mind you, to give you a bit of backstory on the Brandy thing, people say that I started poking at her. What they didn't show you guys when we were in that room, and I said this to Ming, I said this to Denise, and whoever, I think maybe Evelyn was in the room. I said, I'm going to ask Brandy personally when we sit down at the dinner table, like, what's tea? Why would you invite Jennifer here when you know her and Evelyn's dynamic? Mm-hmm. Now I get everybody saying, well, why would you get in it? You didn't know. We're filming a TV show. If I don't say nothing, y'all gonna say, oh, you're sitting there quiet as a church mouse. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying? You damned if you...
You know me, I get that.
You damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
I'm saying, I said out my mouth, I'm gonna ask Brandy directly. I'm not sitting here being messy with y'all. That's not what I'm doing at all. I think it's crazy that she did that, and I'm gonna ask her directly. Before I had the opportunity to do that, Brandy comes barreling around the corner with all the smoke for everybody in the room. I get it. You feel some sort of way. You feel like we was around the corner talking about you. But as for me, I said I was going to ask you directly. You just didn't give me that opportunity to. So once we all make our way out to the living room, the only person out of everybody that was in the room you have smoke for is me. Because I asked a very logical question. Why did you invite her here? Is this not the same thing that you did last season when you invited Jackie to Brooke's event? So you do have a track record of doing this. And I am asking you what's up. But I didn't go picking with her. And regardless, if in that moment, my mom wants to see that I can hold my own, I can. If this is an audition for you and you just sitting there, she's sitting there with a water bottle full of Tito's like this, watching like everybody else. Okay, you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to insert yourself. You don't got to ask.
Girl, you didn't do it for your mama. Chantel pissing me off. You didn't do it for Jackie. You didn't do it for Jackie. You let Brittany sit over there with that ugly afro on top of her head. You let her say and do all types of things to your mama in defense of you. But you mad because Jackie didn't speak up. Girl, bye.
Brandy, what her issue is, or why she got all this smoke for me and nobody else. Maybe this was my freshman hazing, and y'all wanted to see how I would handle it. I don't care what they showed on that episode. I handled myself very well. I get how it was cut and spliced together, but I think that we walked away from there with everybody on the same page that, okay, this bitch ain't go back down. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. That was the general consensus. You understand?
Oh, I totally understand. Listen, when I look at Basketball Wives, the reason why it's such an interesting subculture amongst all other reality shows is because, to me, it is about this very unique, organizing of its own. I think it's a subculture. Oh,
Chantel, no, I'm just playing, right? She know I'm not for real, right? No, I don't know that you're not playing. I think that you're dead serious. And now every time I see you, I have a problem. Like, that's how I'm feeling in that moment. Obviously, later on throughout the season, I was able to talk to Brandy and kind of get a better understanding of her. And we just acknowledge you're a May Gemini, I'm a June Gemini, and we just ain't, it's just oil and water. You get what I'm saying? But I think that the picture that was painted, and I can understand how viewers took this from the scenes, is that I'm telling my mom, don't say anything on my behalf, just be quiet. That actually isn't what I said. I said I can handle myself. I can take care of this. It's not a problem. Like,
yeah, I'm done. I got shit to do. I'm done. I am so done. Girl, I am done. I am done. Like, girl, I am done. I'm done. This girl just got up here and complained about her mama not speaking up for her. And then she just got through telling Carlos that she told her mama that she got herself. But you complaining about... hell no. I'm gonna go make my breakfast, child. Listen, I'll be back a little bit later on. I'm not... This girl's not wasting no more of my damn time. I'm not even joking. I'm not even... I got some bills to go pay. Let me just give y'all my overall thoughts, cause man, you just pissed me off real bad. What? Cause what? I absolutely not. Okay, listen. Here's my thing with Chantel. Chantel did this sit down and took absolutely no accountability for what she has done being on this show. I listened to this whole interview, and I'm gonna tell you something else. Her justifying her mom doing whatever she did to her as far as a hit or whatever, she's trying to justify, right? And she's basically saying, oh, well, before that, I could have walked out of the room. But she knows me. And she knows you shouldn't touch me. You shouldn't touch me. Now, everybody that watched that scene, everybody that watched that video, we saw in that video, there may have been a simple touch from Jackie, but it was not no shove. It was no push. It was none of that. But you chose to turn around and push your mother on national television. And Jackie had enough. I've watched this season. Jackie has literally walked away from every scene dealing with you. Jackie has walked away. And you have continued to want to antagonize Jackie over and over and over again. And let's also be for real. You mad at Jackie for bringing up your baby daddy and the things that you have going on with your baby daddy. being realistic about it, boo, somebody was going to bring it up. You said you told the producers. So if you told the producers, that means the producers knew exactly. The producers knew exactly what was going on, and they gave that information to some of them other girls. You just probably don't know, but they gave that information to some of the other girls to bring up to you at one of them dinner settings. We've been watching reality TV for a long time. We know how this thing works. You came on here because your inner person is not healed, and you really wanted to get back at Jackie. Jackie may be a no shit mama according to you and according to your sister. Jackie may be those things. But I think, and this is just my opinion, y'all do not have to agree with me because I know some people don't like Jackie. I really think that Jackie probably wanted Chantel on the show to really honestly maybe help repair and fix some things. But I feel like Chantel came on here with revenge. I don't feel like she came on here seeking any type of resolution. I think she came for revenge. And this interview did nothing but continue to place that narrative for me. I believe Jackie was sincere about you coming on this show. But you turned that. And again, this is not me saying that Jackie is not a good person, because I'm not here to take Chantel's experience away from her. I'm not doing that. But you had intentions, and your intentions were not pure. They were not sincere. They were not any of those things. And we have to be honest. Hey, Symmetry. And then let's be honest. Look how they consistently treat Jackie every season. Jackie is everybody's storyline every single season. Jackie is somebody's storyline every single season. And the way that they came at Jackie last season, I don't see anything wrong with Jackie coming on the show, like you're saying, little baby, with a duo with her daughter, thinking like, okay, we can conquer the world together, or we got this thing together. I really feel like that's what type of time Jackie was on. Even from the first scene, when we seen them show up at the apartment, or when we seen Jackie show up at the apartment, I felt that too. But Chantel, you should not have done this interview. You're not ready. And again, I still stand 10 toes down on the fact that I think you should have went to some therapy session or counseling before you sat down with Carlos, because you're not healed. Nothing about you is healed. Right now, you're just dealing with it just to be dealing with it. But I also want you to stop saying this too. Stop saying that your mama, oh my God, my mom wanted me on this show. She drugged me on this show. No, baby. You signed up for it, and you received your check. And you're a grown adult. You say you're 32 years old. You're an adult. I don't know about no therapy. I don't know if she did say she been going to therapy for the last 10 years, but she must meant she only been to therapy one time per year in the last 10 years. I heard her say that too, but I can't believe that. Well, you know what, y'all? I can't believe it. I can believe that she probably been to therapy. What did I say at the beginning of this live? I said Chantel gives me the type of person that she tells her therapist what to do. She tells her therapist what to do. There are some people that are not cut out for therapy because they don't like listening to other folks. They don't like for other folks to tell them what to do. And Chantel gives me that. Chantel gives me, she wants to run the show. She wants to be that girl that runs all of the things, and she gets to tell you. And that's not how that works. It's just not how that works.
They are the paid professional, not you. So listen, Chantel, you do not need to return to Basketball Wives. Also, a key thing, Carlos asked her, has she talked to Shawnee? She said she talked to Shawnee after the incident happened because, of course, like higher ups and things got involved because it was a physical altercation or whatever. But she said she hasn't heard from Shawnee since then. Girl, y'all know how I feel about her. Y'all know how I feel about Shawnee. Okay, Shawnee is the problem. And I really told y'all I wasn't giving this show much if Shawnee was gonna be on it, and I mean that. Now I did hear at some point that Shawnee is supposed to be quitting Basketball Wives, or she no longer wants to be cast on Basketball Wives. But girl, you should have been there, made that decision when you got married and became a first lady. Why are first ladies reveling in the bull crap that's produced on TV like this? Mm-mm. No, I think Shawnee should have talked to both her and Jackie. I don't know if she talked to Jackie, but she definitely should have talked to both of them. To either check in or also give Shawnee be in all the other mess. She be in all the other folks' mess. She turned her nose up all season. You a whole first lady. I couldn't imagine my first lady sitting over here leading the women's ministry, turning her nose up at people on TV. Like, Shawnee is a problem. She could have used this as a teachable moment. Yeah, but Chantel don't want to be taught nothing. I'm telling y'all. Chantel is the type of person. Chantel is the type of person who absolutely um um doesn't take any teachable moments. I don't think so. And Chantel thinks too high of herself. Okay, she thinks too high of herself. A first lady of scammer preacher big a lot. I still want to know if he got that. I still want to know if he got that money for the from the storm. She brought that husband on to help Evelyn, with her love life. The same could have been done with this. I'm telling y'all, this ain't good. It's just not good, and I hate to see this stuff play out on national TV. I hope that at some point they can get it together, because Shawnee face get not wrinkler, wrinkle. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, or I know what you're saying. I can't do Shawnee. I can't. She really thinks she belongs with a basketball player makes her better, or because she's being with. Yeah, like her saying that, like I'm sitting over here thinking, girl, you still came on your mama's territory. You still came on your mama's show. Like, yeah, they say he been playing basketball for 2 minutes, and you sitting up here talking about I'm the only basketball girl. Gone, gone on, girl. Nice try. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got for her. That's all I got for her. I can't even finish that interview because you so full of shit, Chantel. I mean, I finished it and I gave y'all some cliff notes of what was to come, but I'm not. I can't listen to her again. She's so full of shit. Jackie is the best. Right, Jackie is the basketball wife. And I have always said that. Like, y'all. And here's the one thing. When y'all see these headlines, Jackie Christie fired from Basketball Wives, y'all, that'll never happen. Unless Jackie decides to walk away from Basketball Wives, Shawnee is never gonna fire Jackie.
Jackie is Basketball Wives. You do not have to like Jackie, but Jackie is Basketball Wives. When you think of Basketball Wives, you think of Jackie Christie. And you know that every year somebody is going to make Jackie Christie their storyline. I don't see Shawnee ever getting rid of Jackie. Not unless Jackie want to go. And plus, I'm pretty sure Jackie's coin is pretty over there. I'm pretty sure Jackie getting an old nice, nasty coin from Basketball Wives as well. You know? So, anyway, y'all, I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a great day. Okay, it is Friday, August the 1st. Okay, anyway. Again, I hope you guys have a good day. I'm gonna get to work. I gotta get some stuff done. And if you guys are in Chicago, DC, Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, make sure you get your tickets for the tour. All right, you can find those on www.tcddproductions.com, and you can purchase your ticket. And don't forget to use code TOUR25. All right, I will see you guys later, and I hope you all have a beautiful day. Peace.